So McKenna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
It's good to have you. I appreciate you. So let's start with where you came from and what happened to have you end up here in Utah. Because I'm pretty sure you're not from here originally, right?
No, I'm not. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1,500 miles away. I was born and raised there. Came out here for BYU. Stayed around. I have a lot of extended family out here, and there's a lot of extended family that I didn't grow up being close to, so that's kind of what's kept me around a little bit longer.
Okay, so how come you extended family here? Were your parents originally from here and they brought up
No,
there,
actually, it's so funny. Both of my family on both of my mother and my father's side are both from Michigan, and it just so happened that they just settled here.
Okay.
I know, it's just like wild. There's just like all these people. I came out to BYU with my cousin, and so she settled here, and then I just have other cousins that are a lot older than me. They have their families here. It's just strange. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So you still have family and connections out here, but not your immediate family.
No, not my immediate family, sadly.
So you grew up in Michigan, you came here to Utah, and then why do you stay in Utah?
That's a good question. I feel like I'm young, and some people say dumb, and that's fine. So I might as well be young and dumb here. I think it's a great place to be a young adult in Utah. Okay. I think it's great. I don't know if I'd want to live here when I'm older. There's not enough green here for me to stay.
Oh yeah.
I need more green. I need more trees.
I've never been to Michigan. Is it pretty green?
Oh yes. It was it's so funny. I went home for Christmas break, and I was like, there's more green here than I've seen in months. And it was snowing and everything. People's lawns were so green. I was like, it's just brown where I'm from. My gosh. But
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think Utah is where you want to stay just because it's not green enough? You're used to...
Is that a silly excuse? I feel like...
That's valid.
It's in my core. I cannot...
I think if you look at America, as soon as you start... moving east to west is green, 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 and then where does it stop being so green? Maybe Michigan's line, maybe Nebraska, Kansas. Once you get to there, it just starts being less green.
Yeah, wherever it gets super, super dry, that it's just everything dies. So funny.
Well, you got elevation, which also makes it probably bad. I'm guessing.
It's so funny at BYU. They have those little signs on the grass, don't walk on the grass, and I'm like, why? Will I kill it? Wait, but you actually will.
It's
here.
so delicate, yeah.
So
please be on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Okay, you know what's funny? The other day, so what'd you get your degree in at BYU?
Physics and astronomy. Yeah.
Oh. So did you spend a lot of time south of campus, kind of
Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever park right south of campus across from the LSB or across from those big long stairs or whatever?
Yes, I walk those stairs every day.
Okay, so that street or whatever. A lot of people jaywalk, right? You
yeah,
just go across. And then once you get up onto campus, there's another street across from the LSB. People jaywalk there. Lately, because I'm still at BYU.
Yeah.
Lately, they've been really trying to crack down on that.
Really?
They got signs posted everywhere that says, it's the law. It says, Utah State Code, blah, 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 blah. Do not jaywalk. BYU police. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're cracking down on jaywalking?
Yeah. I think they should, honestly, if they want people to follow those rules, they just gotta start arresting people. In the middle of the day, on their way to class. Just be tackle them to the ground, in cuffs, put them in a car. That's how you enforce them.
If people are, actually getting hurt and are causing car crashes, then, okay, I can see you intervening. But other than that, I'm like, why?
They just need something to do.
Exactly.
That's their job. What do you do all day? No, it's the same thing. What do I do all day?
What do you do all day? That's terrible.
That's so terrible. I do a lot of stuff in my job, so everyone knows.
You do great.
Thank you.
McKenna is on the cutting edge of science and technology, helping with research.
Yep, right there.
So how long have you worked with your current company? Do you like it?
Yeah, I've been here since last March. So yeah, I like it so far. I like that it's a research. I was always interested in that when I was at BYU. I did a lot of astronomy research, astrophysics stuff.
What kind of stuff? That sounds pretty interesting.
I'm forgetting the names of it. There's these stars called Atlas and Matlas stars, and they have a period in their luminosity. I'm gonna say it wrong. Someone's gonna comment oh, you're so wrong about this one thing. And I'm I'm sorry. It was a year ago. But basically it's like they're periodic stars, so they grow in like their brightness and like their diameter grows, and it goes basically they're very short. Like it happens within a series of hours where it will go to its maximum where it's super bright, then it'll go down to its minimum where it's very dim, and then like very bright again. Like it happens really, really quick, and so they're called like short periodic variable stars or something like that. And so I would take some pictures from some telescopes, and you'd kind of analyze the photos and see how long it took for them to get to like their maximum and to their minimum. So you'd find a period for them, and then you'd kind of compare it to data that's been published already. And so that was a big thing that I did for my thesis when I graduated.
Are you published?
My thesis is technically
huge.
BYU.
Huge. So wait, this is interesting though. So this star,
yeah,
like how many super far away, it gets brighter and then dimmer. Is that because of like as the light is traveling millions of miles as a wave, like it's hitting us at the right spot and then it's like kind of missing us almost? Like what?
It's actually what's happening inside the star. So there's something that's happening inside of it where like it hits some kind of reaction happens, and this a lot of heat is generated or something that would change its luminosity so that it gets a lot brighter.
So some like bursts of reactions happen in the star
happening.
that makes it brighter for a short period of time. And then it also increases its diameter. So there's like that is also happening. And so they don't know really what's happening inside the star, and so that's why they're taking all these observations of it so that they can kind of make their own kind of model of what's happening. Do all stars do that, or that just happens at some point in the lifespan of every star, or is that like only some stars? Do we know?
So there's like all different kinds of stars. So like these stars, it happens a lot to them. Like the sun, specifically, like right now in its lifetime, that's not really happening. I mean, there's like matter inside the star that will heat up, and so it will like down in the core, and it will go to the surface, and then I mean it doesn't go that. There's like a lot of different layers.
Sure.
It's really complicated.
Oh, it's good to give me the short
answer.
answer.
Give me the short answer. But there's like matter that's heated up, and so it goes to the surface, cools down, then it goes back down to where it was originally, and then heats up again. And so it's just this endless cycle of it releasing heat into the universe and stuff like that. So like that happens within all types of stars. But
does it happen in our star?
Happens in the sun. But like specifically these stars, there's like something that's happening that we don't really know what's going on, right? Like we can't really be there, just kind of investigate. So we just have to take observations to see it. So
interesting. Yeah, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been in Utah for a while now. You got connections out here. What is your favorite thing and your least favorite thing about Utah? My
least favorite thing about Utah. I don't know why I started with that. Is that bad?
That's okay.
There's not enough thunderstorms. There needs to be more rain. There needs to be more green. This comes back to what I was saying before.
Not enough rain. Okay.
Yeah, the drivers are terrible. No offense to anyone specifically.
No, that's valid.
But I don't know. It might just be because I'm older. I'm like on the roads more, so I notice. Maybe people in Michigan are like terrible. Like I don't even know. But like here, it just sticks in my brain, and then just the green thing. Like I don't know why that's such a big thing for me, but
it's actually true. I always wondered like, why do they say Utah's a desert? Because like it's not. I mean, it snows here. It's not a desert. Like what?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But I took like an ecology class, and like the definition of it is basically like for every 1 degree of temperature. And again, this is not like fact. I might be getting things wrong here. All you scientists listening,
yes.
please
be kind to us.
It's like for every 1 degree Celsius, that like cancels out whatever like 10 millimeters of rainfall.
Oh wow!
So if it's like 30 degrees of like Celsius, then that's 300 millimeters of water, right? Now, if it rains less than that, then that means it's like desert because there's more degrees Celsius than there is rainfall to cancel out. If the water is above that, then it's like, I don't know what you call it. I don't know. Like the Amazon rainforest has a lot more rainfall than temperature Celsius. And I mean, so anyway, Utah spends like 11 months out of the year in it's like the temperature's up here and the rainfall's down here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's hard to explain on voice because I'm doing the hand gestures.
Yeah,
but
no, I see them. I get it.
Right. But no, so yeah, it's interesting. So I'm sure Michigan and all these other green states and stuff have a lot more rainfall per degrees Celsius. So.
It's a lot more rain. I miss the rain. I miss the thunderstorms.
Brutal. That's funny. So that's your biggest.
I know.
Your least favorite thing about Utah: lack of rainfall, driving. How about your favorites?
My favorites. Well, I'm a member of the church, and so I think my favorite thing would just be all the members that are here. Like,
sure.
And just like the people that I've met. I just feel like there's a lot of just really good people that like are around my age. Like they share the same values, and that's not something I feel like I'd get anywhere else. So it's something I really appreciate here specifically.
Did you have a harder time in Michigan? I guess you spent most of your young adult life here in Utah.
Yeah, most of my young adult life is here in Utah. Michigan, there's definitely, I mean, I can't really say because I don't go back and like, you know, I don't stay too often when I'm there. I don't look for people to hang out with when I'm there. I'm mostly just there with my family.
That's a good point.
But it definitely is just, I feel like there's older, just the population's generally probably in their 40s or something. It's probably the median age or something like that.
You feel like it's a younger state?
Definitely. I feel like it's because of all of the colleges that are here though, just like in this little valley, you know? So there's a lot younger people. Yeah.
That's a great point. What about, I don't know where Grand Rapids is. Is it close to Lake Michigan? You guys ever like go out there and like, what do you do for fun in Michigan, I guess?
Such a great question. It's hard for me to answer because my family are hermits. They don't like to go outside and do things. I like to go outside and do things, and that makes growing up very hard. A lot of the times I'd go on walks. Like I love walking. So we would have there's a lot of forests there, just like lots of trees everywhere in forest, and so you just like go walk around in forest all the time. Me and my brother would do that a lot. But like anything specifically Michigan, I mean, my family's from there, so like I have a lot of, you know, I go and see them a lot, but like I didn't like do a ton of stuff that was specifically Michigan.
Michigan-y, okay.
Michigan-y, yeah.
So with the fun stuff you did in Michigan compared to Utah, how is it different? Like, what do you like to do for fun in Utah? What do you think that, I don't know, Utah has that Michigan doesn't? Compare and contrast for us.
Yeah, compare and contrast. So I feel like it's kind of difficult because I feel like to fully compare and contrast because I'm at different time points in my life than I was when I was in Michigan. Exactly. Like Michigan, I always have fond memories of. Like it's always my home. Like, you know, it like runs in my veins. You know, like that kind of stuff. Like, you know, I love the University of Michigan. Like that's my team. I love the lakes. Like there's just so many good memories there. But here I'm like definitely more in my young adult phase. I have a car. Like when I was living there, I didn't really have. I don't remember when. I mean, I left Michigan when I was 18 to come out to BYU, and I think I only had a car maybe for a year and a half of that. And yeah, by that time I was still in high school, and I was finishing my classes, and I was working at a movie theater, which is great. Love movie theaters.
You had a movie theater?
No, I didn't have a movie theater. I worked in a movie theater.
Oh,
though.
I thought it was like your parents had like a
we
theater
owned
room
movie
or something.
theaters. No, that would be so cool. That would like make my life. I love movie theaters because I worked in the movie theater.
So you had a sick job at movie theater.
Yeah,
okay. You gave that up to come here.
Great.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know the things I regret in my life. Top of the line right there. But like here, I don't know. I'm definitely more on my own, so that makes me like. You know, I don't come home to my family every day like I would when I lived in Michigan. So I don't like, it makes me go out more. It makes me go and do more things. It makes me make more friends with people. So it's really hard to compare and contrast. I definitely feel like here there's a lot more fun things to do for the younger generations. There's just things to do. Okay, yeah. And I think that's just because, like I said, there's so many young people here.
Right. And also, that's a great point you bring up is, you know, you're living through your 18 to 20 something year old phase, so obviously that's why you have a strong bias. What kind of things you like to do in Utah?
I love hanging out with my friends. That'd probably be my favorite thing to do, just like in general. I don't know, I'm not like super specific. I got a paddleboard last year. Really want to go paddleboarding. There needs to be more water out here too.
You got a paddleboard last year and haven't used it yet?
I've used it a couple of times. I just haven't like gone a lot.
Your apartment complex pool.
Yeah, just like I'm in the pool trying to work out, you know, like
So did you have a lot of friends already out here or just family when you moved?
It was funny. When I came out here to BYU, I was going to school with my cousin who also lived in Michigan. And so we came out here together. Okay. And I guess like I had an idea that there was some family out here, but like I really didn't get very close with them until I was probably my junior or senior year at BYU. So like the first 2 years, and then COVID hit as well. Like everyone was inside, but and it's just kind of funny. Like I feel like I didn't know that there was family here, and that they were so close to me until I got out here.
Valid.
But yeah.
What BYU student housing did you live in? What was it called?
Oh my gosh. I lived in Helaman Halls for a year.
Okay.
And then I lived in Heritage Halls for a year. Heritage.
Yeah.
Heritage. I don't remember what it's called. Lived in Heritage, lived in Helaman, and then I lived south of campus for 2 years.
In like just like a private house or something?
Yeah, Liberty Square.
Liberty Square, yeah. Liberty Square.
Yes.
That's sick. Yeah,
Liberty
so
Square
funny.
was great. It was like this huge party place, and I was like, I don't know any party people who live here. Like they're all in. Like everyone I knew, I was like, these are all introverts. People don't go to parties, but Liberty Square throws like the biggest parties, and I'm like, it's just so funny.
Well, it's just so funny because I don't know. Now that I've kind of grown up and I understand the Provo housing scene for students, I can't wait for like my brother. And I'm like, all right, bro, here's where it's okay to live. Here's where it's not okay to live, bro. I'm like, Cinnamon Tree? No. I lived there for a little bit, bro. Lame. Cinnamon Tree's kind of lame.
Wait, what do you mean it's lame? I've never even heard of this place.
Exactly.
Okay. Got me there.
Alpine Village, I think is what it's called.
It sounds familiar.
It's kind of like by the hospital. The
okay.
hospital,
Yeah.
There. But no, that was lame. Have you heard of like the Village?
Everyone
knows the Village. Everyone knows like what's it called? Right across from the Village, where like the female housing, like campus.
Oh yes. I feel like is that closer to campus?
Yeah, it's just right across from the Village. There's like a female housing place.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Cougar Village? No.
It's something that says campus in it, right?
Yeah, I thought so. Campus something. But
I know what you're talking about.
There's that place, and then there's do you know Glenwood? Remember Glenwood? Yeah. So Glenwood was kind of close to the Cinnamon Tree.
Really?
There's like the Riviera across from that.
Yeah.
Braintree. So I know all the places, and I'm like, all right, here's the places that like are good and cool. Here's the places that are not.
Yeah.
This place has like fun hot tub stuff, but don't live there. That place sucks. You gotta, I don't know. There's so many.
Gotta have friends that live there, so they can let you in.
It's so like, it's just such a unique thing. But anyway,
it is.
Such a good time.
Yeah, I know. I always wanted to live in those like pretty townhomes that are so colorful. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I always wanted to live in one of those.
You drive by there, like it's like a bright pink door.
Yeah. And I walk past them every day to campus. It's like right across from Liberty Square. I would just want to be like, I just want to live there. Yeah. Jealous.
Okay, how about since you've been here, food-wise, best places you've eaten in Utah?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. You're gonna this is gonna be the college me. Right. I don't go out to eat. And this is gonna be me comparing Utah to Michigan. Those are the only two places I've lived. So I'm like, oh man, this place is so good. And you're like, that's a fast food. They have that all around. And I'm like,
McDonald's is everywhere.
I don't know. It just slaps here. It's a lot better. No. I'm trying to think of specific places. I liked R&R Barbecue for a while. Okay. I like that place. I never they don't have anything like that in Michigan. I don't think. It's hard to compare and contrast.
I'm pretty sure they're a chain.
I think they are a chain.
They're all over Utah.
Yeah,
but they
are.
might be in other states too. I don't know.
Yeah. I like that. I thought that place was really good. It's a place I'm like, oh, I want to bring my father. When my parents come out, we're going there. You're gonna like it there. I like Raising Cane's.
Dude.
Love Raising Cane's.
Love Cane's.
What's it called? Bahama Bucks.
Never been there. Never heard of that.
No, Bahama Bucks. It's just a shaved ice place.
Oh, okay.
And I was that's just
I'm not a shaved ice fan.
You're not a shaved ice? It's so good. Well, I make shaved ice, and it's not the same. But it's so flavorful. They put so much flavor. I don't know. I think you should try it.
There's some, it's just it's just ice with this
flavoring
syrup on it. Yeah. And it's I don't know, something about knowing all that is I'm eating. I'm like, ugh. So that might be why I don't like it.
Okay.
But also I don't know, when you have the straw at the bottom and you suck out of it for a while, and then you just have a bunch of ice with not a lot of flavor left. You're like, well, I don't want to eat this. So then you're like, all I did was just drink this syrup with a little bit of ice in it. This is messed up.
It's cold syrup. Just drink it up. I put ice cream in mine.
Okay.
You should try that.
That could be
that
good.
might. It's like fruity ice cream, basically, at that point when you.
So what's your favorite kind of flavors if you get shaved ice? Maybe I've got wrong flavors.
Yeah, probably. I always get blue raspberry though.
Okay.
That's what I always get. Is my go-to. And then they have like this, like I don't even know what it is, but it's like citric acid. It's like this sour, like they just put it on top, and so it's like kind of sour as well. So it's not like just sweet, but like I don't know. I'm not a Bahama Bucks.
No, I just contrast it. It's like having salt in your popcorn. It's like
yeah.
Huge.
I mean, I've gone to Bahama Bucks. I just haven't been in so long, but that place is good. I'm trying to think of other places. Raising Cane's, yeah.
Dude, Cane's is so good. My first time having it was like, man, what year was it? Like 2021 maybe?
Yeah.
Went to Arizona, and this kid, he was like, dude, on our way there. Well, actually, no, yeah, so we stopped in Vegas on the way. We went like a weird way, like around.
Yeah.
And we stopped in Vegas, and we ate at Cane's, where he wanted to eat. Like, bro, Cane's the best. And then when we were in Arizona for like a week, right across from our hotel was this Cane's. Like, we're going to Cane's. Like, so every night we ate at Cane's on this trip, and I loved it. I was like blown away. But this kid introduced me. He's like, he's from St. George. And I think at that time there was like 0 in Utah.
Oh, really?
Like,
wow.
literally, Cane's has opened up like 1 billion locations in Utah in the last 5 years. It's been crazy.
They should. They need more of them. The closest one's in Provo to
good.
Anywhere in Utah Valley. It's like the closest one is Provo. And I'm like,
have you been to the Post Malone Cane's?
No, I want to. It's all pink, right?
Yeah, it's all pink. It's in like, I don't know.
He just owns one.
Whatever.
I think that's the funniest thing.
It's so dope. They have the menu's literally, you can order something the posty way, which is like the box combo, but it has something different, like extra toast. I don't know, but
the posty way.
Order it the posty way.
I like love that place. Like I went, it's so funny. A year ago, I went on a date with this one guy, and he was trying to convince me that Slim Chickens was better than Cane's. That's a red flag. That's a red flag in my book. I was like, how? It didn't obviously work out, but I was like, this was like obviously, yeah. Just from that one fact, you should know it didn't. I was like, this is a red flag. I can't believe anyone would say.
So have you been to Slim Chickens though?
What?
Have you been to Slim Chickens?
I have, and I do not like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know.
There a couple months ago, there was like, I feel like in November, December, my wife and I went like at least once a week to Slim Chickens. We were on some kind of phase where I haven't had it in a while now, but it was like there was just nothing in the world that sounded better than Slim Chickens for a while. I was just like, gotta get more Slims. And the Cane's sauce is like, can't compare that.
Better, you're right. It's better in every way, right?
That's good. Okay, so that's the Utah stuff. Tell me some fun facts, lesser known facts.
It's so hard because I know everything about myself. So
great point. Maybe unique or uncommon or.
I don't know. I got in a car accident when I was 15. That's a fun fact.
How bad was it?
It was pretty. I mean, like I don't know. It's kind of hard looking back like at it because like obviously I survived, but they said it was pretty bad. I got in with my brother.
Were you driving or was he?
No, I was. He was driving.
Shotgun?
Yeah, I was shotgun.
Walk me through it. Whose fault was it? What happened?
It was so funny because I remember this like distinctly because it was, I think it was 2016, like August 2016, and it was right before school was gonna start. I was in marching band, and we were having like marching band camp where they have like, you go for like a week or something, and they have very, very, very long practices, like stuff like that.
What instrument did you play?
Yes.
I don't know, a trumpet, drums.
I was basic. I was a flautist. I played the flute.
Oh, okay.
You're like, wait, what is that? I don't know
what a flautist is.
Flautist, flute. I don't know if that's not probably the proper way to say it, but you can roast me in the comments. That's fine.
So the crash was on the way to the band thing?
No. That was just what was happening at the time. This was like,
okay.
like a Sunday night. I think I remember because I remember distinctly. I love Stranger Things, and me and my brother were talking about Stranger Things when we were like before this. Like we went on a walk and it was getting really dark. And it was like, I would say the beginning to middle of August, something like that. And at that time we were out kind of in the country. I lived in like the suburbs, so we were like kind of far away. It was like 9, I think, at night, and there was like this hay that had from this farm that was just like grown over the stop sign, so you couldn't really see it.
Oh no.
And so my brother was he was supposed to stop, but he couldn't see the sign because I mean obviously.
Yeah, sue the city. That's crazy. Like for real, that's messed up.
And so someone T-boned us in our little car, And yeah, it was pretty bad. They had to use the jaws of life on my brother's door. It was
So you
bad.
got hit and then you couldn't get out of your car? Like
My brother couldn't get out on his side. I could get out, and then yeah. So we were like going like this, and they just T-boned my brother's side. So the driver's side.
Anybody else get hurt? Did your brother break anything? You break anything?
My brother, it was actually amazing. My brother didn't break anything. Like he had bruises. Like obviously we both had like the seatbelt bruises, just like around like up on the collarbone, and I broke one of my bones in my leg. And so I couldn't, this is what I was telling you about marching band. I couldn't do it anymore. That whole year, I was out of marching band. I was out of lacrosse because I used to play lacrosse. So I was just like out that whole time. It was an interesting time in my life for sure. But that's a fun fact, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's a big chunk of time during high school, especially. That's wild.
Yeah, it was my sophomore year.
So the jaws of life, that bends the metal to open the door for him to get out. Is that what that does? Okay.
They're like huge, just like yeah.
Wild.
I
so
know.
how long would you got in a crash? You just hung out there for a couple hours till they came? Like how did that all?
Yeah, they called. I mean, obviously someone called the police, and the police were close by. They were at like some event or something that was happening. So it was actually really good. But I rode in an ambulance to the hospital, and I stayed. I mean, I don't remember. It happened like at 9 at night, I think. And I think I got released from the hospital at 2 or 3 in the morning.
For real though, if that happened to me, I would like take pictures of the stop sign and like.
I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure they did. I think I have a picture of the car on my phone.
Oh yeah, find that for me. But I'm just like, I don't even know who I'd tell. Like tell the insurance company, hey, it wasn't my fault, or do I tell the city and say, hey, like you guys pay my insurance bill? That I don't know who I protest about that, but if the city doesn't keep good care of the stop signs, then that's
it was hard. I'm just happy that my brother was okay.
Yeah.
He had I felt like he felt bad after it happened.
I'm sure. While you find it, let's talk about your family. How many siblings you got? Where do you fit in?
I have 3 older brothers, and I am the youngest in my family. I don't have any sisters.
Wow.
I know, it makes me kind of sad, actually.
That's way tough.
I wish I had a sister, but I don't, so.
Do you have like nieces or nephews?
No,
Dang.
I know. We're at like end of the line.
That's brutal.
Thank you, yeah. My life is brutal. I feel seen.
That is brutal. You're valid.
But yeah, so that's my family, and then I have my mother. My parents are still together. Don't ask me how long, because I don't know.
That's okay. What's in your case? What's that business card or something in your phone case?
This is good. This is a gift card my father got me, actually, because I...
Have you used it?
No, I haven't. Because I was like, I don't know if I have to, like...
You can use it and then just keep it in your phone case still.
I haven't used it yet. I lost my wallet. It was funny. I lost my wallet a couple weeks ago. It's like, it was the weirdest thing ever. The most inconvenient thing, because I lost it while I was at BYU, like in the morning. Like I think I got in there around like 7:45. A
couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I went to BYU because I was giving back this external like terabyte drive to my professor that had all the astronomy data that I had worked on it. So I went and I was trying to return it to him, and during that time I lost my wallet on BYU campus. I know, I was like there for like 20 minutes. I wasn't even there that long, but I lost it. And so I told my father, obviously, because I use my father's HSA because I'm not covered by his insurance out here since it's in Utah. And so he sent me this $100 gift card.
Clutch.
Even though I found it like later.
You found the picture? Oh no, you found the wallet.
No, I found my wallet later. Yeah, it was BYU campus, so someone just got me just there. Sorry, I'm like taking forever.
No, you can find it.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, let me see it. Dang! And that truck in the background.
Yeah, there was the one that like. It was so funny because before we got hit, like.
That's nasty.
It was pretty bad. Yeah, me and my brother were on like, it was like in the country, so it was these roads that were kind of like squished together. It was before we went on our walk. This was after we had gone on our walk. We were going home. When we were going there, it was funny because we were like, oh, do you think we could like. We were like saying, oh, do you think we could take this car? Because we were just like this small, like my brother's like first car. It's just like this small car or whatever. And there's just like, you know, we're like sharing the road with this huge. It was just funny.
Oh my God.
We were joking about that, and then
you...
a couple hours later we get hit by one of them.
That's so bad.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a fun fact, I guess.
So you said you're the youngest, and you're the only girl. Do you feel like you're spoiled like crazy by your parents? Like you're just the gem?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I am also the only one to live far away from home.
Oh,
so like they all live in Michigan. I live in Utah.
Is it always so hard? Are they always just crying their eyes out when you leave?
Yeah, no, actually, like the hardest thing of my life is leaving my family when I visit them.
So sad.
So hard. My father breaks down every time.
That is so sad.
Breaks my heart. 24-hour drive from my house. So
that's brutal. Do you always fly, or have you like made that drive a few times?
No, my father would kill me if I drove that far by myself.
Okay. I'm noticing a Utah thing. You keep saying father, not dad.
Yeah.
You think that's like? Have you noticed that Utah thing?
I haven't. Have you? You've noticed obviously since I'm talking.
Well, I don't know. I never call my dad my father, like ever. And I can't think of any people I know who would say that. Like, oh, my father this, my father. They always like, oh, my dad said this, my dad did it.
Oh, I don't know. I'm polished.
Let us know in the comments. Drop a comment below if you call your dad or father.
Yeah, please let us know.
That's interesting. What about your mom? You call her mom or mother?
My mother, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Well, I mean, when I talk to them, like, you know, like dad and mom, but like when I feel like when I refer to them, I call them my mother and my father.
Very respectful. Okay.
Well,
sounds fancier.
Yeah.
So, tell me about in your life who has inspired you the most and why.
Okay, I would definitely say my mother has inspired me the most in my life. I would say why. I just think my mother is like a very strong person. And that inspires me because, well, I'll tell you about this. So my mother is a hospice aide. So she works with like those who are like near the end of their life, or, you know, I don't know exactly how each hospice program works, but the idea that I have is like once you're given like less than a year to live or like less than 6 months, they usually put you on hospice care. And so that's what my mother does. She goes and she takes care of those who are nearing the end of their life. Like that's her job. Is
it like terminally ill people or just like old people? Like
it's like terminally ill. Like when you know that they're gonna like pass soon.
Okay, got you.
They usually enter hospice. And so I've always admired my mother because I was like, wow, she's just like so strong. Like I wish I was that strong. And like her job is just so like, it's like the most selfless thing, I think, is just taking care of people who can't take care of themselves anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she knows how much like just like an inspiration that is to me.
That's so sweet. Okay.
Yeah,
very
I know.
Cool.
When I was at BYU, I like I wanted to be a hospice volunteer, which is different than like a hospice aide. Like my mother takes care of them. I would just like volunteer to like be a companion to them.
Right.
So I did that for about a year when I was at BYU, and I did it because I just wanted to like, I just wanted to know like what it was like to be like my mother, kind of like in that respect. So that was like a really cool opportunity that really I had. Cool.
So what did you do? You just like hang out with different people who were dying soon?
Yep, basically, yeah.
Was it like one-on-one, or was it like a group sitting? Okay.
It was like one-on-one, yeah. So I would go over to like this one lady, I think she lived in Linden or something. But I would go over to her house like once a week, and we would just spend a couple hours together. She loved horror movies.
Oh my gosh.
We watched horror movies together. It was so, I know, right? But it was really fun.
That's like a mixture of like sweet and like sad to hear all this stuff. Like, not even the horror movie, but just like, I don't know, you hanging out with someone who's gonna die. Like I was picturing myself like, am I gonna be like this old person dying? Like everyone I know is dead, and I just have some random person coming over to hang out with me. Like that's like a way sad feeling.
Yeah, a lot of people on hospice, from what my mother tells me, are also just like kind of angry, you know, like at their life. I mean, obviously, like just like the situation they're in, they can't really do things for themselves anymore, and so it makes them very frustrated, and they don't really want help. But she kind of like, that's her job. She stays there and she helps me even though she doesn't want it.
That's actually crazy. So people who don't want her help and are kind of like rude. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, her job is to help them, and so she kind of has, I mean, she doesn't like force, you know, but like she does what she can to help them, like that kind of thing.
you didn't really get a lot of that because you were just hanging out with them to be nice.
Yeah.
She was like taking care of them. That's what probably got people upset. Okay.
Yeah, she was like taking care of them and doing things for them and stuff like that. Very different from what I did, from what she did. But
so think back. Tell me, what's the best compliment you've ever received?
I really like when people compliment my smile. I don't know why. Like, that's just like such a surface thing.
I was actually saying that you say that. Now that I think about that, like I can remember like specific moments where someone like said I had a nice smile, and I was like,
I know, right? You're like, oh my, thank you. Like, I don't know, because it just means that like I just smile a lot, and I don't know. That's just I just like that compliment.
Meaningful, yeah, 100%. What's some advice you've received before that's changed your life?
I feel like I'm kind of too young to have anything like that, but there was always something that my father would say, and I would call my like parents when I was like at BYU or like whenever I'm going through like hard things or difficult things, and I would call my parents, and my father would always say, he would always just say like, hang in there, and I don't know why. Like, I mean, it's not like earth-shattering advice, right?
Yeah, but it meant something special.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I mean, I feel like just like coming from my father, I don't know. It just felt like, yeah, you know, like I can do it. Like, hang in there.
That's cool. That says a lot about your relationship.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you wish people knew about you?
I would probably say that I just like to make people happy. Like, making people smile is probably my favorite thing that I like to do. And I wish people would know that. Like, about me, I guess.
Yeah. It's a great thing to be known by. How about, what does success mean to you?
Success to me means probably being happy where you are, I would say. Like, I feel like a lot of people, like, especially like at our age, I guess any age, I don't know, maybe I'm saying especially at our age because I am our age. But I feel like people are just always like worried about like being like successful in like certain things. Like, I think about my job specifically, like it might not be exactly what I want to do, but you know, it still makes me happy when I do it. I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people aren't happy in life, and if people focused more on being happy, they'd probably feel more successful in what they're doing.
So tell me about one of the happiest moments of your life and one of the saddest moments of your life.
Oh, okay, let's see. One of the saddest moments of my life, I would probably say that they're probably when I leave home, honestly. That would probably be like the thing that hits me the heaviest. Is saying goodbye to my family. That's always the harder. It gets harder every single time I leave, I swear. I'm like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. Sometimes I think like that, yeah.
So you're definitely gonna be living there long term. You're definitely gonna move back, so you don't have to do that so much. I
don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be there. Like, I can't be there now.
Interesting.
But, okay. I mean, like, I would just want to be around my family. Like, I guess it wouldn't really matter where it is. But the fact that I have to say goodbye to them is probably like the hardest, like the saddest moments of my life. The happiest moment of my life. I enjoy like serving people a lot, and so that brings me a lot of happiness whenever I do that. Like, I help out with a Special Olympics team right now.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Dude, tell me all about that.
Tell you all about that? Well, we're called Provo United.
Provo United.
Yeah, that's our team. We used to be with BYU. BYU made some. BYU's like Special Olympics team. To what I know, it's run by students who aren't exactly like. A lot of parents wanted to be coaches, and so BYU on their team wouldn't really allow that. So we kind of split from them, and also BYU has more of like an age limit on their thing. So that's how our team kind of came to be. We're more of a community team. Okay. And so Special Olympics is basically has athletes who have some kind of mental disability or intellectual disability.
Are any of them physical disabilities?
A lot of the times they come together, yeah.
Like so a missing leg, or is it just like neurological stuff?
Mostly it's like mental neurological stuff. Like some of our athletes also have physical disabilities as well. But most of the time that's most of the people that we see. And so I help out with the team in Provo. It's really, really fun. I think my favorite sport right now we're doing is Topgolf, which is great. We do it at the Top Golf in Vineyard.
Okay.
Where Top Golf is so nice because they give us like a couple bays like every Wednesday.
That's so nice.
For free. And so
for free? Shout out Top Golf.
Yeah, I know. Go Top Golf, right? And so we go and we practice there, and then we go to like certain tournaments that are happening around the state and stuff like that.
So what do you guys like compete with? Is it just like, so first of all, how many athletes, how many people, and are they competing in like every sport at these tournaments, or do they specialize, or how does that work?
So we have different seasons. So right now we have like, it's mostly like the state of Utah. Like they have the Utah Special Olympics. Or I think it's Special Olympics of Utah. Sorry about that.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't want to be roasted in the comments about that one. But Special Olympics of Utah has like certain seasons, and so they have sports in different seasons that athletes can compete in, and then we have teams in different areas. Like obviously we're in Provo. We have some. I think we're the only one actually in Utah Valley right now that does most of the sports. Like there's some other teams in Utah Valley, but some of them specialize, like they just do basketball, or they just do like flag football is like one of the sports. And it really, I want to say that our team probably has like right now maybe 50 athletes.
Wow.
Half of them are in basketball, the other half are doing Top Golf, maybe a little less than that. We also have a lot of athletes like sign up and then they don't kind of like show up regularly, so they're not really like they're still in our team, but they won't play for that season.
How does what do you do for them? How does your role fit in?
So I work on the team's delegation, or like that's what they call the head of delegation, is just the group of people basically at the top of the team, and they're kind of like in charge of stuff. Like we find places to like have basketball practice, and then we go and we get funding for our team through different ways, or like we ask for donations, and we have someone on our team who does like communication with the Special Olympics of Utah, because they like give us stuff that we give out to our teams, and then we have someone who also does like the social media aspect of it, and then I'm there sometimes. What I do most of the time is I help out with Top Golf a lot, and I write like down like their scores, and I do like attendance for them. I don't specifically do attendance, but like sometimes I'll do that, and then other times we have different people on the head of delegation that does paperwork, because each athlete needs to be registered and they need to have like this paperwork, and then we have volunteers that they need to have paperwork and they need to have background checks. So, and then we have coaches as well. So it's just like this huge, just like
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So what I do mostly is I help out at Top Golf on Wednesdays, and I kind of move over some of the volunteers and I have them help out at certain areas, and then I write down the scores for the athletes, because Special Olympics of Utah likes to have divisions for their sports, so got to make sure I have an average of their scores so that they can put them in different divisions when we go to tournaments. So stuff like that.
How did you get involved in this?
So my cousin's son is in Special Olympics.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
In Utah?
Yes, in Utah. He's on our team. Yeah, that
nepotism.
Yeah, I know, right? It's me. Nepotism. I don't have any special skills. I just know people.
Okay.
But so they've always been my cousin. They kind of jump around the country a lot of the time, and so they ended up here like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago or something, and so they have been very involved in the Special Olympics. And my cousin, my blood cousin, she's probably maybe close to 30 years older than me. So she like has a family that, she has kids that are married and are having kids basically right now. Yeah. And I've never really, like growing up, I've never been really close to them. So one of my goals was to try and get closer to my family. So I thought this would be the perfect way to do that. So I started helping out, and I see them quite often, and I love that. But I also just love serving in general, so it's really good.
That's
service
dope.
Opportunity. Yeah, it's really fun.
How much of your time does this take up, all the stuff you do for them?
So I usually am at practice like a couple hours on Wednesdays. Today we have basketball. We have two sports going right now. So we have like Top Golf on Wednesdays, and then we have basketball that's on Saturday mornings. Like this morning I went to the basketball practice that they had. That was a couple hours, so maybe like a couple hours each week.
Okay.
Kind of basically it. And then we have like head of delegation like meetings every month, stuff like that.
That is dope.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, you mentioned earlier that you love being in Utah because you were part of the church, which is huge in Utah.
Yeah.
How has belief in a higher power impacted your life?
Wow. I don't think I can tell you any part of my life that it hasn't been impacted by. Okay. If I'm being completely honest, like it basically, I mean, I feel like it's just always, I mean, my faith has always been in my life. Like I was born in the church, and in Michigan, there's not really a lot of members of the church. So it's very, we're very kind of separated from other people. Like I think it's just very different than here in Utah. I think in my high school, there was maybe one other active member that was in my ward that was my age. And I had another one, but she was inactive. And like, that's just kind of how I grew up. So I always grew up I felt like I grew up very different than other people around me. Way different. And our ward obviously wasn't very big. Went to like young women's and young men's, very small groups of people. Like, yeah, so that just kind of, I feel like that always, when I was growing up, that always kind of separated me from everyone else around me. And it was one of the reasons I wanted to come out to BYU is because I got accepted to the University of Michigan, and that was one of the places I was going to go. And it was actually really funny because my cousin she wanted to go to BYU, so she had applications. And I think I put in my application to BYU like the day before it was due.
Nice.
I put it in. I was like, oh yeah, I got to, apply to that one. Because I think at that point, I may have already been accepted to the University of Michigan when I had put in my application to BYU. And I was like, might as well, we'll just see. Because I got into University of Michigan, like, early action. So they, or early, whatever it is, they told you a lot, like, way before that you were accepted. And my brother had gone to the University of Michigan as well, so that helped. But, yeah, and then, I don't know, I just, like, got into BYU, and my cousin got into BYU, and I just thought, like, that was, like, I was more excited about that. I just felt like a more fun adventure. And I had come out to BYU probably the year prior to that, and I really liked it there, and it just, I don't know. So I came out, and then now I'm here, and now I'm stayed, but I would say that it's probably, like, my faith specifically and my belief in the church has definitely been just, like, a roadmap for me in my life. Like, I think I'm, like, scared of who I would be if I had never been born in the church. Like, I have no idea who I would be. Like, That'd be, like, scary for me to figure that out.
Totally. If money was not an object, you didn't have to worry about money, how would you spend your time? What would you do?
That's a good question. Like I said, I love serving. I would probably want to fill my life doing some kind of service at some point. Like, I don't know what specifically, but I love helping other people, and I get a lot of value out of life from serving others. So, I don't know, maybe like a nonprofit, work for something. Not 40 hours a week. Way too much, That was way too much time to work at one thing.
Period.
Do I need to say more? But I don't know. I want to do that. Probably travel. Travel sounds fun.
Okay. Have you traveled a lot already? Have you been anywhere cool or not really?
No. I've been here in Michigan.
There you go.
Yeah. The coolest places in the world.
There you go.
I've been to them. Well, I guess I've been to, I forgot. I've been to Pasadena and Seattle for astronomy conferences when I was at BYU.
Pasadena's in California?
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
And Seattle up in Washington, yeah.
Dope. I went to Seattle once.
Yeah, it was really rainy there.
Yeah? You must love it.
I know, it was great. Yeah, it was great.
Do you have any hot takes or unpopular opinions you've always held on to that people just never will agree with you on?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm a people pleaser. I don't know. I just like mold my opinions
out there. Okay.
To be in line with other people. I mean, okay, like my coworkers, I'll say things about how Michigan's better, and they've only ever lived in Utah, so they'll say things about Utah, and then me, but
you gotta
love my coworkers.
You gotta get them to be down to be on the show.
I know. I'm telling them they should. I'm just saying, hey, They've only lived in Utah. I've lived in Utah and Michigan. So just saying.
You've got a wider perspective.
Yes. No offense to them.
What do you think your biggest fear is?
Oh, my biggest fear. I would say probably, like, I am not an optimist in my life. I don't consider myself to be an optimist. I'd probably say I'm more of a pessimist than an optimist, which I don't like. I know, I hate that.
I wouldn't have expected that, but okay.
Really? Okay. I would say I probably, like, I'm not good at having hope in things. And just, like, certain things happening in life. So, but, like, I feel like a big fear of mine would probably being at a spot where I'm just, like, utterly hopeless. I feel like that's something that I probably fear more than anything.
Okay. In any particular aspect?
Just feeling like hopelessness, like nothing could get better, or not really having any joy. Like, that's probably, like, my biggest fear.
Have you ever seen that in people that you were, like, a buddy for with hospice and stuff, maybe, or?
No, not specifically. I've known people who, like, have phases of their life where they go through stuff like that, but that would probably be, like, a big fear.
That'd be a big one. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what do you hope to accomplish in your life?
I just want to be happy in my life. Like, that's my biggest thing I want to accomplish, because I feel like in the world we live in, I feel like so many people happiness is hard to find for them, or, like, being, like, fulfilled is hard to find. Just having joy and, like, keeping joy in their lives is just, like, the hardest thing for a lot of people to do. I don't feel like people know how to do it. So I feel like that's probably, I just want to be happy in my life. Like, that's, yeah.
What about, like, is there any kind of impact you want to leave on other people before you die?
Impact? If there's any, like, impact I want to leave, like, on the friends that I have, or, like, I would mostly just want them to, when they think of me, I want them to think of how loved they were by me, if that makes sense. Like, if there's any impact, it would be that I want them to think more of themselves when they're, like, you know, I'd want to, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm failing at the words to say it.
No, I get kind of the sentiment.
The kind of sentiment, yeah. I'd want to, like, build them up. I'd want them to, yeah, just think of me as someone who's, like, who would support them. And I hope it's a good feeling.
Yes, yeah, that's what I mean.
I hope.
To like the way you made them feel.
Yes, because I just want to love everyone. And I want them to feel loved by me. That's the impact I want to have on them. I want them to remember that.
That's awesome, McKenna. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing to have you as a person of Utah. Even if it's only been a few years, and even if it only lasts a few years, we're glad to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.